Hi, this is Jason Molesky. In this example, we'll take a look at how to interpret a scatter plot once it's been constructed. In that last example, we constructed the scatter plot shown that displays the average number of points scored per game and the number of wins for college football teams in the SEC. Anytime we construct a scatter plot, we want to make sure we take the time to actually interpret what we see. That is, we want to describe what the scatter plot reveals about the relationship between points per game and wins in this particular example. When interpreting a scatter plot, there are three key features you want to point out. Number one, you want to note the direction that the points tend to follow within the scatter plot. That is, do they tend to follow kind of an upward trend or a downward trend? More specifically, we'd like to say there's a positive or a negative relationship between the variables. Next, we want to talk about the form. That is, are the points making any sort of pattern within the scatter plot? Are they forming somewhat of a straight line? Does it look somewhat curved and nonlinear? We want to take the time to mention what that relationship looks like. And finally, we want to talk about the strength of the relationship. Are the points all following a pattern very closely, or is there a wide scatter to them? We'll learn how to quantify strength later on in this chapter. The last little piece we always want to talk about is any departures from the pattern. Are there any outliers within the plot that don't follow the general pattern overall? Now, for this particular scatter plot, when we look at the direction, we see that in general, it appears that teams that score more points per game have more wins, and teams that score fewer points per game have fewer wins. So we say there is a positive association between points per game and wins. In terms of the form, there appears to be a linear pattern in the graph. That is, the overall pattern here seems to follow a fairly straight line. It doesn't look nonlinear or curved in any way. And finally, we want to talk about the strength, and we say here that the points don't vary much from the linear pattern, so the relationship is fairly strong. There don't appear to be any values that depart that linear pattern. There aren't any out here, there aren't any out here, so we say there aren't any outliers. For some additional practice in interpreting scatter plots, take a moment and try exercise 7.